Hello and welcome to Good Day Talks. Happy 3/2/22. Today I just want to discuss a quick little thing about mass psychosis formation and about the mass psychosis that has been in the news lately as far as they want it removed off of Twitter and they want Joe Rogan's podcast with Dr. Robert Malone removed. So that's going to be the topic of this discussion today. First thing though, I want to show just a quick clip. This is from Futurama. It's in the end credits of one of the episodes. They normally put some kind of jab at somebody or something at the end. So this will kind of be this goes along with the topic that we're discussing. So I think you'll like it. But here you go.
I have combined the DNA of the world's most evil animals to make the most evil creature of them all.
It turns out it's man.
And it's true. Man is always going to be the biggest enemy towards man. For some reason, we can't figure out how to live together and how to cooperate in a civilized society. So moving on from there, couple of books that are really good that I recommend reading. I just finished reading the Brave New World Revisited, which Aldous Huxley wrote in 1958. And then A Brave New World, I read a while ago, but it's a very good book. The Brave New World talks about how this group is completely controlled by an oligarchy, and they actually breed everybody in different levels so that way they can do different tasks. And then there's a different mind manipulation going on and hypnosis that goes on that actually keeps them docile and to not question any of authority and just to continue with their tasks. The other book that's great that I don't have a thing for, but it's 1984. 1984 is George Orwell. He wrote that book a while back also, and it discusses how the totalitarian regime that they have is doing nothing but fear and anger and hatred every single day. They actually even have a hate hour that everyone needs to start screaming and being belligerent. So it's a completely different apple and oranges as far as it goes with that, but actually both of them discuss how to manipulate and control your population. So I would recommend reading all three of the books. Revisited that he came out with actually discusses different theories that he wrote in his book that are already kind of coming true. So very interesting books. I really recommend them. Revisited is a quick read. Brave New World's a little bit longer, but really excellent reading, and he's a fantastic writer. He really is. Another thing that he did then was he did have he's had a bunch of different speaking points and a bunch of different talks that he's done. But one that after school actually did the illustration for was called Love Your Servitude. Love Your Servitude explains how the ruling oligarchy, or at least the people in control, need to get some type of cooperation from the people that they're trying to enslave or make servants for themselves. So they're trying to control the people, and one thing he discusses in there is about the placebo effect. So there's been studies, I'm sure, and a lot of people have heard about the placebo effect. The placebo effect is essentially getting like a sugar pill or water and you thinking that you got the actual medication to heal yourself, and then you actually do heal yourself. Very interesting the way the mind works. But what he discusses in that is that there was a study that they did where people came out of surgery and they were given distilled water instead of morphine. And so at the end of it, they were also given morphine too, but the study was a controlled study. And at the end, the actual findings came out to 20% of the people actually felt relief from the distilled water. Then on the opposite spectrum was 20% of the people felt absolutely no relief from the distilled water. And then in the middle, there was about 60% of the people that sometimes felt relief and sometimes didn't. Now, something else he discusses in there is just like society. Society is very similar to that, where you have 20% of the people that are going to just follow everything that they're told and do as the people in charge say. And then there's 20% that are going to completely authoritarian and really don't want to follow any or trust anything in any authority level at all. Then there's 60% in the center that allow for civilized society to actually occur, where they kind of, they'll conform to certain things, but not everything. And it's good that we have a lot of people in the center there to where we can actually have a nice civilized society. Now, what's coming next then talks about the mass psychosis. And this is a quick video. After School did this one as well. And it's from Academy of Ideas on the mass psychosis. This is a longer video, a longer clip that I've got coming up next. But this is kind of what's going to need to happen to get the rest of the 60% controlled, as opposed to just having the 20%, so that they can control majority of everybody. So take a look at this one. I think you'll notice some similarities of what you've seen recently also within the past couple of years. But here you go.
It is simply a question of reorganizing and manipulating collective feelings in the proper way. The general method by which the members of a ruling elite can accomplish this end is called menticide, with the etymology of this word being a killing of the mind, and as Mirlu further explains, menticide is an old crime against the human mind and spirit, but systematized anew. It is an organized system of psychological intervention and judicial perversion through which a ruling class can imprint their own opportunistic thoughts upon the minds of those they plan to use and destroy. Priming a population for the crime of menticide begins with the sowing of fear. When an individual is flooded with negative emotions, such as fear or anxiety, he or she is very susceptible to a descent into the delusions of madness. Threats, real, imagined, or fabricated, can be used to sow fear, but a particularly effective technique is to use waves of terror. Under this technique, the sowing of fear is staggered with periods of calm, but each of these periods of calm is followed by the manufacturing of an even more intense spell of fear, and on the process goes. Or as Mirlu writes, each wave of terrorizing creates its effects more easily after a breathing spell than the one that preceded it, because people are still disturbed by their previous experience. Morality becomes lower and lower, and the psychological effects of each new propaganda campaign become stronger. It reaches a public already softened up. While fear primes a population for menticide, the use of propaganda to spread misinformation and to promote confusion with respect to the source of the threats and the nature of the crisis helps to break down the minds of the masses. Government officials and their lackeys in the media can use contradictory reports, nonsensical information, and even blatant lies. As the more they confuse, the less capable will a population be to cope with the crisis and diminish their fear in a rational and adaptive manner. Confusion, in other words, heightens the susceptibility of a descent into the delusions of totalitarianism. Or as Mirlu explains, logic can be met with logic, while illogic cannot. It confuses those who think straight. The big lie and monotonously repeated nonsense have more emotional appeal than logic and reason. While the people are still searching for a reasonable counter-argument to the first lie, the totalitarians can assault them with another.
Absolutely. And so you saw the waves. It's something similar that we've all kind of seen recently with the different variants coming out, with the different mandates that came out, with the masks on, masks off, masks on, double mask, triple mask. And they just kept pushing and then taking it back, pushing and taking it back. And as you go up, it seems to be we gave up a little bit. And so they're trying to get everybody into this new platform to where they just take over everybody's right to live. Next then, it's with the podcast that was on Joe Rogan about Dr. Robert Malone talking about the mass formation psychosis. So JP Sears actually does a quick video on it, and I'll give you the five different things of kind of forming the mass psychosis. So the first one that he says is the lack of social connection. the lack of social connection. If you look at everybody on Facebook today, and with not allowing kids to actually go out and play and be in the neighborhood with other friends, there's a quick article I pulled up is 1 in 5 adults has no close friends. No close friends. I personally have lots of close friends, and I appreciate them 100%. But I don't, with everything that's going on and the way that social media has taken over a lot of people's lives, I actually can understand that a lot of people don't have close friends because everybody just goes home and goes on their phone. So people lose a lot of the relationships that are out there. Because if you don't actually spend time with people, you won't be able to have a relationship. It's a true thing. Online it doesn't justify for a friendship. The second thing that he says is a lack of meaning. And so a lot of people actually take value in their jobs and actually find a lot of meaning from their jobs. So this is just a quick Gallup poll. 51% of employees are disengaged from their workplace. So 51% is a large number of people that are working that are not happy with what they're doing or enjoying their life at all while they're working. We work so much and we spend so much time outside of the house because we have to go to a job to work that we should really be appreciating it and liking our job. If we're not, there's other questions we should probably have. We should maybe move to something else or find out what you actually really want to do. But these are a couple different steps. And then the third step is free-floating anxiety. So the amount of anxiety, I think, partly also because of social media, it makes everybody anxious. And then on top of that, the media itself has been putting fear out all day long for multiple years running. And think about all the COVID death ticker that CNN had every single day. They had it. They kept updating it and kept having reports. So I can't think of a more terrifying time than letting CNN run all day long. But an estimated 19.1% of adults in the United States have had an anxiety disorder. This is a big issue. We need to have people be able to feel comfortable and be able to live their lives without anxiety. That's not right. So if we put down the phones more, maybe that'll help. But then number 4 is the free floating of anger. So anger is everywhere. It's insane. It's everybody's at everybody's wit's end, it seems like. If you read a couple different Twitter articles or a couple different tweets out there, you can actually read the comment section. You see everybody just going nuts after each other. Just check to see if there's one that talks about transgenders. Then everybody will go nuts on there. It's absolutely insane. They got J.K. Rowling. You can look up J.K. Rowling and you can see the tweets that she put out there and then the amount of hatred that she got. Then also, I just pulled up a couple different articles. Americans are living in a big anger incubator. Experts have tips for how to regulate our anger or our rage. Honestly, there needs to be some kind of outlet. People need to be less angry. And then people probably need to ask why you're so angry about life. What is getting you down so much that you need fits of rage to be able to get over it? Is it the media? Is it the movies? Is it the show? Is it the music? Is it something out there that you're witnessing every day that is making you so angry? These are questions we should start asking. Next then, the mind manipulators give a target for aggression. So think about that. With COVID and the vaccines and the people that didn't want to get a vaccine, there was more division. So they put everybody against each other. The media is great at doing this to get elevate your emotions to where you just get fuming mad and you start going nuts on the first person that you can find. That's essentially kind of what happened with the riots in 2020, where they destroyed all of their property. There's a lot of property damage that happened, and it actually hurt a lot of African American business owners during that whole process, which is a problem. It was a BLM protest that was supporting Black Lives Matter that actually destroyed a lot of businesses of African American Black people. That's not right. That's so wrong. So this is something that needs to not occur. Everybody needs to take a second to breathe. Think about what they really want in life. Think about what you can do differently, or what potentially the reason why you're so angry about something. And then the next thing you have to watch out for is that the media is not there to help you. The media is actually out to make you even angrier. So here's a quick clip. This is something I saw online. All of my links are going to be in my comment or my description section. But take a look at this one. This is on recent events with what's going on in Ukraine. So here you go.
Verify is here to sort through misinformation. So when videos and images appeared online claiming to show massive explosions and other scenes from the Russian attack on Ukraine, we stepped in to fact check them. Here's what we found. This video, with more than 100,000 views on Twitter, claims to show footage of a Russian airstrike on a Ukrainian power plant. But that's not true. Our sources are Invid, a video verification platform, and reports from multiple news outlets. Using Invid, Verify traced this video back to a 2015 warehouse explosion in Tianjin, China. A 2015 article from The Guardian credits the video to Dan Van Duren, an American aircraft mechanic living in Tianjin at the time. The video was also shared by multiple news outlets in 2015. So we can verify, no. This video does not show footage of a Russian airstrike on a Ukrainian power plant. Next, we have this image, claiming to show Ukrainians praying outdoors in the snow following a Russian attack on Ukraine. So let's verify. Does this image show Ukrainians praying outdoors during the current Russian-Ukraine conflict? Our sources are 2 reverse image search tools and a 2019 article posted on the International Mission Board. Using reverse image searches on the Facebook post, Verify traced the photo back to posts from 2019 describing a scene from 2014. In September 2019, the image was posted to the International Mission Board, an international group focusing on sharing faith-based content. The author of the article describes being called to prayer after violence broke out in Kharkov in March of 2014. Other evangelical outlets shared the article in October 2019, giving image credit to IMB as the original source. So we can verify, no. This image does not show Ukrainians praying outdoors during the current Russia-Ukraine conflict. If you see more images and videos claiming to illustrate the Russian attack on Ukraine, send them to us and we'll check them out. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
And so you'll see the media is not there to help you. They're here to stoke your to get your emotions up, to get you hot, to get you to do something that you don't want. They're trying to honestly manipulate you. So one of my favorite movies is actually Die Hard with a Vengeance, and this is just a great quick scene in the beginning of the movie, but Samuel Jackson kind of lays it out perfect. This is how I feel about most of the people that let these people manipulate them.
Mm-hmm. Hand me that newspaper over there. Don't ever let people use you.
Exactly. They're not using. They're using you. Don't let people use you. Don't let your emotions run wild based on random things that the media is telling you. The media is there to stoke your fire, to make you angry and belligerent. Everybody needs to start looking at things differently. Everybody needs to start looking at themselves differently. Because right now, we're in a very, very, very scary place with how individualized everybody is without actually realizing how connected they are with everybody else. Everybody here deserves to live, laugh, and love, and to think of themselves as the best that they are. Because you can be. Absolutely can be. This right here is a quick clip then from Kevin Hart was on Joe Rogan after Skool, did the animation for it. But this is a quick clip just on how he sees people and how he thinks life should be also, but I think it's good to watch and good to hear. So here you go.
In every life, I understand that. There's a payoff for bad eventually. There's a payoff. It can't be bad, but for so long. If you got the strength and the understanding to realize that, shit will change. It will change. Yo, we all are great. We all should think that we're great. There's no reason for you to not think that you're great. If you don't think you're great, ask yourself why. Why don't you think the highest of yourself? When you do, people have no choice but to follow suit.
I really do recommend watching the full video of this. There's a really hysterical part in there too, but it's on how to deal with negative people. definitely everybody needs to start seeing themselves as great, because everybody is great. We honestly should be realizing that everybody's great and start realizing that everybody is great in the same light, to where we appreciate and respect other people. And once we start getting back to there, I feel like civilization is going to go a whole leap forward, and we can get back to everybody being happy, everybody being able to enjoy life, and start to look at other things that maybe we can tweak to make our lives even better from that. But then the last thing, don't give up your power. People individually and together have a lot more power than the people that are trying to actually control us. And even if you look at the 1%, they say that has all the money, which they do have a large stake of everything in the United States and everything around the world too. However, 1% of the people has all the millions of dollars and billions of dollars. But the 99% of the rest of us have our numbers. So if we all get together, we can actually make change. This is something everybody needs to get over the aggressions, get over the nonsense, get over the anxieties, start looking at people as people. We're all human beings, and we can all live a better life. But I want to thank you for watching. And last, I have a quick, this is another after school, so apparently that was the theme of the day. But this is Tony Robbins, and just a quick thing about how we need to really master our emotions and actually be in control of ourselves instead of giving it up to other people. So this is a great one, but again, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a good day.
Resources are never the real problem. A lack of resourcefulness is the real problem. I'll say it again. Lacking the resources is not the problem. Lacking resourcefulness is the real problem. What I mean by that is very simple. The ultimate resource is human emotion. What starts wars? Is it logic? Hell no, it's emotion. What makes you get married or get divorced? It's emotion. What will make you stay up all night, work to build your business? Emotion. What will make you give up? Emotion. If you don't master your emotion, if you don't become resourceful, then you're going to think the problem is resources. Because I'm here to tell you, every great person I know didn't have the resources, but they got them because they're resourceful. And what that means is, if you're creative enough, creativity is an emotional resource, can you find an answer to the problem, yes or no? If you're determined enough, can you find the money that you don't have? Can you find it, yes or no? If you care enough and get other people to care with you, can you get them to help you, yes or no? If you are bold enough, if you're strong enough, if you're disciplined enough, can you get yourself to do things other people cannot find a way to do, yes or no? See, the ultimate resource is resourcefulness. If you can find the hunger inside of you and you can remember, I don't need resources, I need resourcefulness, that'll get me the resources, then anything you dream about you can make real. But the minute you forget that and you come up with a story that goes, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I can't do it, it's too far away, that's what's gonna kill you. Change your story, change your life. And we all have a story because we're afraid, all of us, to fail. We're afraid to not look good. We're afraid to be disappointed. We're afraid to get our hopes up. But the only way that you get courage, courage means you're afraid, but you do it anyway. It's not courage if you're not scared. Whether you do it or not is not going to be based on your ability. What you're capable of is amazing. What most people will do is disappointing. It has nothing to do with the content of what needs to be done. It's everything to do with the mastery of your own states.